scientists have dismissed claims that some of the world's largest earthquakes are triggered by a full moon. This is when the gravitational pull from the moon and the sun on the Earth are at their greatest, and the theory goes that this could be triggering fault lines into slipping. But in a new study, seismologists looked at more than 200 earthquakes dating back to the 1600s and found that there is no significant pattern. The phases of the moon can impact the gravitational pull on Earth. During a new and a full moon, the attraction is greater, which has long been known to contribute to the timing of earthquakesWHY. Earthquakes are linked to full moons. The gravitational pull of the sun and moon is tugging on Earth's crust, causing it to stretch and compress. This cycle causes the tides in the oceans as they bulge and relax. Some suggest low-frequency earthquakes along California's San Andreas Fault are more likely to occur when the tide is waxing. They say that as the surface of the Earth rises and falls with the tides, it influences activity at the faults, either promoting or inhibiting fault slip deep at the roots. When the moon is pulling in the same direction of the slip, the effect is far more dramatic. Dr. Hough said that the moon and sun do cause solid Earth tidal stresses, ripples through the Earth itself, and could be one of the stresses that contribute in a small way to earthquake nucleation. But their own, that cannot be used to predict large earthquakes.Leading seismologist Dr. Susan Hough of the US Geological Survey said that the patterns that some observers see as linking large earthquakes with specific parts of the lunar cycle are no different from the kinds of patterns you would get if the data are completely random. Dr. Hough looked at both the day of the year and the lunar phase for 204 large earthquakes dating back to the 1600s. To avoid detecting clusters of earthquakes within the data that are related to other factors, she chose to look at larger earthquakes because they are less likely to be an aftershock of a bigger earthquake. Looking at only large earthquakes also allowed Dr. Hough to pare down the list to a manageable number that could be matched to lunar phase information found in online databases. Her analysis did turn up some clusters of earthquakes on certain days, but to test for any significance in the patterns she was observing, she randomized the dates of the earthquakes to find out what kind of patterns would appear in the random data. She found the patterns in the random data were no different from the kinds of patterns showing up in the original dataset. She said this wasn't an unusual finding, noting, when you have random data, you can get all sorts of apparent signals, just like when you flip a coin, you sometimes end up with 5 heads in a row. Dr. Hough said she did see some unusual signals in the original data. For instance, the highest number of earthquakes, 16, occurring on a single day, came 7 days after the new moon. But she said the signal was not statistically significant and the lunar tides would be at a minimum at this point, so it doesn't make any physical sense. Dr. Hough said that the moon and sun do cause solid Earth tidal stresses, ripples through the Earth itself, and not the waters hitting the coastline, and could be one of the stresses that contribute in a small way to earthquake nucleation. She said some researchers have shown that there is in some cases a weak effect where there are more earthquakes when tidal stresses are high. But Dr. Hough said, if you read those papers, you'll see that the authors are very careful. They never claim that the data can be used for prediction because the modulation is always very small. The research was published in Seismological Research Letters. 22 May 1960, a magnitude 9.5 earthquake hit close to Valdivia, in southern Chile. It is thought to have killed up to 6,000 people and left around 2 million homeless. March 1964, known as the Great Alaskan Earthquake, this struck at 5:36 p.m. on Good Friday. A magnitude 9.2 megathrust earthquake, it is the most powerful in North American history. "139 people are thought to have died from the quake and resulting tsunami. 26 December 2004, the Boxing Day earthquake that struck in the Indian Ocean just off the coast of northern Sumatra, Indonesia, and the resulting tsunami killed more than 230,000 people. It was recorded as a magnitude 9.1 earthquake. 3 November 2011, striking under the ocean off the coast of Tohoku, Japan. This magnitude 9.0 earthquake is the most powerful to have ever hit the country. It triggered powerful tsunami waves up to 133 feet high and sparked a full-scale nuclear emergency at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. It claimed the lives of 15,894 people with a further 2,562 people left missing. 4 November 1952, striking off the coast of the Kamchatka Peninsula in eastern Russia, this magnitude 9.0 earthquake triggered a large tsunami that struck as far away as Hawaii and Alaska. 27 February 2010, with its epicenter off the coast of central Chile, this magnitude 8.8 earthquake produced intense shaking for around 3 minutes. Around 525 people were left dead, while 370,000 homes were destroyed.